let us begin. So this is a video on how to blup a horse really fast. I'm going to do it as fast as I possibly can. Yeah. So to do that, we're going to use Morpheus's arms just because you save so many aging points by doing that. And then I can also do it faster for you guys. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my fine fellow here. He's the highest GP horse we've bred on the team so far. And I'm going to age him up to 6 years, and I'm going to put him in my equestrian center. And I'm going to click really fast, just because I want to get through this as fast as possible. 6 months, just feed him, water him, put him in bed. You're set. And I have the VIP thing, so it automatically puts him to bed for me, which is honestly one of my favorite things ever. I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal, but... So he also has... Oopsie. See, I've already messed up. You're going to get to watch me mess up, which I feel like might be a good educational thing. Okay, so make sure they stay at 20%. So in the equestrian center, at my equestrian center, I reserve this box because it has the trough and the shower. And this saves you so much energy. And it's also a forest ride. If you have a equestrian center that's on the beach, I don't recommend using it for blupping just because it'll take you twice as long to do this. So anyway, so that's some basic, and then I also am a VIP right now, so I can cancel stay. That'll come in later. So the goal is every day that I just do as much full games as I possibly can. So full games while I'm doing this. So there's skills that you can't get back. They're basically, I think there's 60 bonus skills that there's no way to achieve besides by doing them and doing them properly. So it can be pretty exciting. And you wouldn't think 60 skills would be that big of a difference, but it really is when it gets right down to it. So whenever you're blupping a horse, always do this. You'll come to find out that the hardest part of doing any of this, and so we're at 22 hours, so we're going to age him. We should be almost done with full games. So you'll see we're maxed out at this point. So if I go in, there should be no more skill gains. That's what you want. I'm just going to do 2 hours because I have it clicked anyway, and it'll put him to bed right on time. Perfection. Okay. Now we have a grown horse. What do we do with the grown horse, you ask? So everyone has a different blupping schedule. So I don't feed them yet. For me, I do only forest rides. And then a tip I've learned, so the lower energy they have, the bigger bonus the stroke gives you. So it's 11 now. And these two don't matter. They'll always be the same. And then the more energy you have, the more energy that feeding them will give you. So I always do this last. I always stroke them first because you get the biggest energy boosts. And remember, goal is to get this done as fast as possible. This is a little bit different than skilling, but I will cover that briefly at the end. Getting all them skills, look at them. Yummy, yummy. Who likes your skills? You like your skills. So I named him after a song I really love listening to. It's called like the matchmaking song. I'm really into like Irish folk music. Almost fudged that up. Gotta watch my language as I do this. I'm well behaved most of the time, Mom, I promise. No. So we should be getting to almost max here, but until we are maxed out, we just ignore this. Just pretend it doesn't exist. So, and he's about 2 years now. So, beautiful. And we might listen to the song if I get the chance. I have it up here. Okay. So around this time when they're about maxed out, just keep an eye on it. If you realize that you're about to do a bunch of rides and the skill gains are way less than they should be, So say I had it at 3 hours and it was like +5. That means you're at the max, and then don't waste that energy, put it to good use. So I think I'm good. I favor speed over like speed at doing things over just having it exactly. So don't let it stress you out too much, but if you can keep an eye on it, bonus points. Literally. Okay. My stomach's gonna make weird noises this entire time. And I like to have them exact as I can, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. Okay. We're getting close. We will get there. Oh boy. So this is about the time. So is it about 2 years, 6 months? See how the skill gains are getting less? Still not there yet. But when you start out, you'll be getting the most bonus. And then it'll slowly wane until you get nothing at all. Yeah. See, now I just want to check it all the time because I said that. Anyway, this is super fun. You'll get really fast at it. Oh, and another recommendation I have is, if possible, if you have Morpheus's arms, especially a limited supply of them, I've kind of taken like 2 years off from this game, so I have so many black market items right now. But generally, you want to only put Morpheus's arms on females, because when you breed them, that really helps than having to spend aging points. And then the, ooh, see, we don't want to waste that. That's valuable time and energy. So now we switch to speed and dressage. I like to do 2 speed, or 1 speed, 2 dressage, and I do auto, because it works out perfectly. Minimal amount of clicks and finagling. And then this, and then turn it off. And then we want it as close to 21, not a drop of energy is wasted. Ooh, pretty colors. Who's a pretty carrot? I'm going to feed that to you, handsome. Okay. Wait, wrong thing. So again, 1 speed, 2 dressage. Who's a good boy? Yummy, yummy. Oh, he got his carrot. And so I'm sure that you could do this and not do the auto. I don't know how much time it actually saves me, especially there at the end, but I kind of like having everything just done for me, especially when you're crunched for time. If I'm training a unicorn or I'm training a non-team horse, you're not really on any sort of time schedule or competition level or anything. So of course I would never be this strict. But with this, again, we don't want anything wasted. And go crazy with the mashes, the carrots, everything. Don't hold back, because it'll save you so much time later. Woo. Don't do that. Okay, pretty boy. Whoop. See, I almost clicked the wrong thing. I get in a rhythm and then I just want to click all the buttons. They're so pretty. And then I get them as close to 0 as possible, because again, you get like 1 or 2% more when you stroke them, which doesn't really matter, but it makes me happy. Makes me feel efficient. And see, that time I just chose it because I didn't want to have to go back in later. Bad. Good boy. Okay. We'll see, we're pushing it. Okay. And try not to get them going to bed after 22 hours, because not only do they have less energy the next day, if you don't, I have this changed right now because I have a VIP account. I'm not trying to rub this in, it's just I usually don't actually. So a lot of things that I'm used to are now much more convenient. So anyway, so I'm going to point them out, because chances are you will not have one, which is fine. I respect that wholeheartedly. Just They do make life a little easier. Just a smidgen. Okay. This is going to be kind of the boring part. Okay, let's see. What can I tell you while I'm just doing the same thing over and over again? Okay, so one thing, so there's a lot of different BLUP schedules. I know Shay has a different one than me. It's just slightly different. For me, I do it this way because you end up saving more energy in the long run, especially when you get to comps, and I'll talk about that when I get there. And it just works best for me. Get in a flow. As long as you achieve the ultimate goal or end result, it shouldn't really matter as long as it's efficient and you're not wasting things. So, like, for example, this horse is 4 years old. It will be completely blipped by the time it's 10. And 10's the cutoff. That's when they stop gaining. So they gain BLUP every day. This is BLUP. This is how much kind of gauges what the baby will receive skills and genetics wise. You want it at 100, 80 is the minimum. 80 is the age where, or the BLUP where they'll pretty much get the same amount of GP as they normally would. I think it's slightly less skills, if I'm not mistaken, but it ultimately makes a very minuscule difference, especially when sometimes you just don't have all the time in the world. But if you can get them to 100% BLUP, all the better. Like, again, bonus points for you. Minimum, you have to have them at 80. And then something I've been running into is because to get them BLUPed, you need 50 wins. And I'll talk about that again later when we get to that portion. But the thing I'm running into now is I used to compete with my older competition horses or my older miracle horses. And then I'd fill competitions so that way they ran faster and they got their 20 wins and then they could be at 100% and stuff like that. But now, once you have 20 wins, it immediately takes you out of all competitions and you can never go back. So I have all these horses that are fully BLUPed and I want to fill competitions so my horses get their wins faster and I just can't. And so that can get really frustrating. So when you're starting out, I would say just try and get to 80 and then 100's bonus points. And then, unless we become the #1 team, then 100% all the way. Oops. See, I whoopsied. I knew that would happen. Okay. Not a big deal, right, handsome? He's like, yeah, whatever. Well, my horses, even on the game, know I'm dumb. The real horses definitely know, but I feel like they could just feel it through the computer. Okay. Bam. So we have dressage and speed completely done. We're going to leave gallop for now. Now, I'm going to only do classical riding competitions. I recommend, actually, I'm going to cancel your stay because we need to do that anyway. So if you don't have a VIP account, don't worry about this. You can totally don't have to do this. But if you do have one, I really recommend you get this bonus because whichever type of training you're in, like say I go to mountain ride or a mountain stable, which I'm going to do, it does it twice as fast, which is just, again, just saves time. So this one looks good and it has a shower and a water trough, which is very important. Always get those. So anyway, and then they have tack. So guess who gets free tack? This boy. And if they're a skiller, I'll save my 2-star stuff and use it on them. But okay, sweet. So this is where it gets a little more complicated. So these two should be full. Forest rides, no more gains from this. So now we're going to start competitions. #1, you want to do gallop. And again, if you don't have a VIP account, you can't automatically do it. And I'll do it manually in a second so you can just see what I do. So no thing wasted. It should be at 8% if you have